former President Obama got back in the game a bit this week. He had lunch with his former VP, Joe Biden, on Monday. And yesterday, he released his endorsements of 81 candidates in the midterm elections. The Democratic Socialist who's been making headlines, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, didn't make the list, but he says there'll be more to come. Everybody happy now that he said something? Everybody's been saying, why isn't he talking? Why isn't he talking?
This will probably provoke Agent Orange to come out and bring out the Bertha syndrome again. He'll start talking because he gets jealous.
Don't give him any ideas.
So funny nickname.
You know, it's like he every time Obama speaks or something, Trump gets jealous. You know, and he'll start.
True.
Yeah, he'll say.
Yeah.
That is true.
Really quick, they were at Joe Biden and President Obama were at Tag Dog Bakery, which is this bakery in Washington, run and employed by veterans. Amazing, also amazing place to go and eat. I just want to give it a shout out. So happy that's where they decided to take their outing.
I think that was a very intentional photo op, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, Joe Biden is sort of in the front, and Obama is sort of in the back, circling him. So I wonder if that's or almost a semi-announcement for Joe Biden. And the other thing that I thought was interesting with President Obama's endorsements, I think his endorsements matter. The Democrats only need 23 seats to wrest control of the House from Republicans and 2 seats to gain the majority in the Senate. And I'm curious as to why he left out Ocasio-Cortez, because she's running under this platform of Democratic Socialism.
Kind of a landslide.
Right,
I think it's
in her
You think that's what it
in
is?
her district. I think it was.
So he doesn't need to endorse her.
I mean, it's like, I think you can interpret it in many different ways.
Yeah.
My interpretation is that he's not ready to give his endorsement to the socialist wing of the party quite yet, which I 100% understand. Also, if we are going to maybe read the tea leaves of them together, I don't know if it's an announcement, but Joe Biden is a big person that people are talking about running for president. He is not a socialist. He's not in that vein at all. I would debate he's a hell of a lot more electable than anyone who is. And it would be an interesting conundrum for the Obamas to be in if he ran for president against an up-and-comer socialist. Because at a certain point, Valerie Jarrett came on here and she was like, we're a big tent party. We're a big tent party. That's great. But at a certain point, you will pick one nominee. And one nominee will represent socialist Democrat or regular.
Because Bernie tried this.
Yes.
You know?
The Democratic Socialism.
I just hope the memes come back. Those two are awesome online.
The romance is wonderful.
It is real. I miss them.
They love each other.
A lot of people say that Bernie, if he had been the candidate, would have won, even though he was a Democrat.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he would have won. Because, listen, people...
He had populist appeal, which is what Trump has.
He had populist appeal, but, you know, the reality of socialism in this country is one that we don't really discuss much of. And as people are now starting to emerge, I want to know more about what you're running against. I don't want you coming in and running on a platform you don't believe in. I want you to be who you are, because I'm going to vote for you who you are. I'm going to vote for what you say you want to see done. The problem when, you know, someone says, well, are you a Democrat? So, well, no, I'm a Democratic Socialist, but I'm a socialist. Be who you are.
Well, see, that's the thing. When she came here, I am also concerned about this. You know, what does socialism look like here in the United States? But her platform sounded kind of mainstream. Medicare for all, universal jobs guarantee, fully funded public schools, paid family and sick leave, housing as a human right, justice system reform. So that doesn't seem so out there
because she keeps completely biffing, and if you watch her clip from The Daily Show, she can't explain how we're going to pay for it, which was also Bernie Sanders' problem. And at a certain point, I mean, everybody wants health care for, I mean, everyone, if we had the means to in every way. And by the way, discussing socialism on this show triggers everybody in the world, me being against it. I mean, having our heated discussion that we had last week, I get that there are people in this country that are for it. I'm 100% against it. And until, like Bernie Sanders says, Medicare for All plan would cost $32.6 trillion over 10 years, according to George Mason Center. And I just believe that at a certain point, if you want this platform, that's fine. Explain how we're going to pay for it. And if everyone who's for it, you have to pay the 70% or 80% in taxes that they are proposing.
I don't know if you have everything right there, Megan. A lot of these countries have similar tax rates that we have, and they're able to do a lot of that.
Small European countries that in no way...
Canada has Medicare for all.
But that's one part of her platform. What she just said, I mean, say
all
it again.
of it is
Medicare for all, which I think most people do agree with. Universal jobs.
Do you believe that health care is a privilege of some sort, or is it a guarantee?
I believe that there's a reason why people in Canada come to this country to get better health care. In Arizona, where I'm from, we call them
Sometimes.
snowbirds because the quality is better. And no one can explain to me how the quality would ultimately suffer. Do I want people to, in this country, not be able to have health care when they're sick or, God forbid, get brain cancer? I'm the first person to admit my perspective on this exponentially shifted when my father got sick.
Yes.
That being said, no one can explain to me how we're going to be able to pay for it and the quality won't
Can I
suffer.
tell you
I
something?
think it's a
know
human
people,
right. I think
know
healthcare is a
people
human
who-
right.
I have friends that come out.
We're having a debate.
Right.
We're having a debate right now.
do.
And I think the problem with this is, don't paint me out to be, and it's very complicated on this show. I'm just trying to talk about the realities of what it's going to cost. It's not that my heart doesn't open. I just admitted on national television that my perspective changed after my father got sick. But don't sit here and say, I believe in all these ways, because
one of the things you
it
said-
makes me seem compassionless,
I'm
and
gonna
I am
come in here
not.
for a second. Hey,
I am
hey,
realistic about what it costs.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No,
It's
but I
your-
understand
it's your
what.
day.
Did you
Thank
throw a paperclip?
I just threw a paperclip because you said not to ring the bell.
I like the bell.
You know what? It's your last day. Ring the bell.
What I was going to say is I totally understand what you're saying, Megan, because I also believe healthcare should be for all. But when they don't spell out the how, I think that's what Bernie was running into. And
Well,
we talked
that's
about
what-
it with
yeah,
Vermont, is
that's
that
the problem.
everyone can get on board with the great ideals, but how are you going to pay for that?
And we'll be right back.
Okay.